Hey, Robert. Good morning. This is the Board of Supervisors meeting for May 20th. We're running slightly behind schedule. My apologies. That's part of my job to keep the cats in line, and I've failed to do that so far this morning, so that's my personal responsibility. We have nothing to report out of closed session, and at this time I'd like Sheriff Allman to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Sheriff. Before us we have the minutes of May 13th. Any discussion on the May 13th minutes? What's the action of the board?
Move approval.
There is a motion. Do I hear a second?
Oh, second.
Thank you. There is a second before us on the May 13th minutes. Any discussion to the motion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay. The May 19th meeting of yesterday's workshop will be continued to next week. Before us we have item 5, the consent calendar. We have the regular, we have an addendum, and we have an air quality consent calendar. To the clerk, proper notice, please.
Yes, we do have proper notice for all items on today's consent calendars.
Thank you. To the board, items to be polled for separate consideration. To the board, is there any items you'd like polled? Okay, hearing none, what's the action of the board?
Make a motion to approve the consent calendars.
Okay, all 3 consent calendars, there is a motion before us for approval. Do I hear a second?
Second.
There is a second. Discussion to the motion of approval of the 3 consent calendars. Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, passes on a 5-0 vote. To item 7A, this is a timed item for 11 a.m. Presentation and adoption of a proclamation declaring May as Older Americans Month. Sponsoring department is the Health and Human Services Agency, and so I would ask them to make a presentation or introduce the item.
Hello, my name is Susan Ira. I'm Deputy Director of Adult and Aging Services and the Area Agency Director. And I'm wondering, would you like to save the proclamation until the end of the presentation or do it first?
Why don't we read the proclamation first?
That would be wonderful.
Thank you. Please, Supervisor Smith.
And I appreciate this opportunity so I can prepare myself quickly to be an older American. And the age is delineated right here so we can all know what it is. Proclamation of the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors recognizing May 2008 as Older Americans Month, working together for strong, healthy, and supportive communities. Whereas Mendocino County is a community in which 18,000 citizens age 60 or older make their home. Whereas older adults in Mendocino County and throughout the United States are a growing population with evolving needs. And whereas older Americans are valuable members of our society who are rich in experience and deserving of our respect. And whereas the number of baby boomers reaching traditional retirement age continues to increase, a fact that spotlights the need for increased attention to the needs of older adults. And whereas our older citizens of today and tomorrow promise to be among the most active and engaged older adult populations in our nation's history. And whereas it is the responsibility of this and all U.S. communities to work together and prepare for changing older adult populations by modernizing systems of care and providing consumers with more control over their lives. And whereas overall quality of life can be greatly enhanced when supportive communities help their older citizens obtain evidence-based approaches to making behavioral changes that can reduce risk of disease, disability, and injury, the tools to make informed decisions about and gain better access to existing health and long-term care options, and more options to avoid placement in nursing homes and remain at home as long as possible. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Mendocino hereby proclaims May 2008 as Older Americans Month and urges everyone to take time this May to honor our older adults and the professionals, family members, and citizens who care for older adults. Be it further resolved that all citizens and communities are urged to work collaboratively to strengthen the services in Mendocino County to serve its older adults in ways that recognize the changing nature of their needs and that provide older adults with more opportunities to make informed choices about their lives. Through these efforts, we can improve the lives of our older citizens and help pave the way for future generations. May 20th, 2008, Jim Wattenberger, Chair. And that is a motion.
That is a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
There is a second. Discussion to this much-needed proclamation. Hearing none, I call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. And please make the presentation, and then we'll take comments.
I would like to invite members of the Health Planning Council, IHSS Advisory Committee, to come up and accept the proclamation with me, please.
Please, and there will be pictures, so don't run away.
Gather around behind.
Oh, okay, behind.
Behind where?
Good morning.
Sure glad it's just an age and they don't include the mileage, otherwise I'd be over.
Please.
Thank you very much. I want to start by also thanking the board for your ongoing support on senior issues. I know that you're very concerned about the senior citizens in our throughout our county, and we've received support from all of you in many ways, and we thank you. I want to in particular thank Supervisor Wattenberger for his last 2 years' support in the Area Agency on Aging Governing Board, and where he's provided a great deal of advocacy and support. So thank you very much, Supervisor Wattenberger.
Thank you.
So, what we're doing as an agency, the Health and Human Services Agency, is that we're looking at ways that we can serve the community's needs through systems of care. And I know recently you had a presentation on the children's system of care. We have I think this last year we've started to develop an adult system of care. And at some time in the future, I'm hoping that I could come, or some of us from the agency could come and talk with you about some of the exciting things we're doing with that system. Today, though, because of Older Americans Month, we're focused on the older adult system of care. And this first slide gives a picture of the continuum of services that we're striving for. The reality is, as you know, the aging population is growing, and right now we're dealing with a lot of proposals to reduce funding to these programs. So we have a great deal of concern about that. However, this is what we are striving